Big sleep is death. Oh, Dash.
What?
I just
Hello.
read what was said in chat. He was like, let's go for the big sleep. And then Tesh was like, lol, the big sleep is death, though.
Yeah, it is a Teshism. You had a regular sleep at Zekian's parish. What? And I got my coffee. I obeyed the rules of this land. Both those things are on equal importance. After a big sleep, you wake up to another day in the city of Shinebank. What is the plan?
Peace out.
Yeah, is today leave?
I feel like...
Deliberately and carefully. We have a bunch of money and valuables on us.
Yeah, do we want to try and convert some of our money into more valuables that will accrue value when they're sold at Balcutter?
Oh yeah, Ezekiel wanted us to fucking buy silks.
Yeah,
Well, you don't have to do silks. Like, you know,
trade goods.
Trade goods, but
luxury goods in Civ 6.
Just, but well, not even luxury goods, just goods. You have to think about what a community like Balcutter would pay more for than a person here would sell for.
Bone combs. No, proper combs. More than bone. Combs. Brushes.
Combs is your answer. Your golden
brushes.
Answer. Invest
brushes.
in combs. I don't know why.
Good alcohol.
They're all minotaurs. They need a good brush so they can brush through the fur. They need to get all the grit and all the dirt out. You can't get a proper horsehair brush.
Oh, you mean like a really good brush?
You need
horsehair
a stiff.
Is no good for a minotaur.
But
there's no way.
You'd need whatever a horse brush is made out of for a minotaur's fur.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is made of. It'd be a bit weird if a horse brush was made of horse.
It's like a flimsy metal that will.
Oh, that's right.
Give to it.
Think it is?
It definitely is.
Right. No, we're not saying here. I think you might need these. We're saying here you need to buy these. Soap.
I feel like Ian was on the money. We should do alcohol.
Good alcohol.
Alcohol always sells well.
Alcohol they can't make there, so stuff that requires distilling. Well, you know,
I mean,
you can't
do you
really
want
make
to?
it very well.
I can't give you the keys to the kingdom. So if you want to get Ollie assistance from this, you're gonna have to pass some intelligence checks.
Oh no, that's fine.
Or history checks, I guess. This would be history of the
I
area.
think I agree with you that we should get some spirits, because if you get non-spirits, it's going to take up loads of weight as well.
There is a distillery district in Shinebank. I believe it's actually just called Fire Island or whatever. There's a big island of breweries and things. Island is different. I don't remember the name exactly, and I can't be bothered to find a place in my notes. But don't you think every other trader has had the same idea?
Valid.
So you'll probably make money.
No one sort of combs.
You'll probably make money, but like,
do
you want a fairly safe investment? Also, a whole bunch of like whiskey bottles will be loud. And I've played Red Dead. I know that you get, when you're doing a whiskey transportation, you're gonna get looted.
There's gonna be breakage and
breakage and looting.
Yeah, I mean, really in terms of Balcutter, what would Balcutter buy? I can't really imagine them wanting silks. The only other thing I can really imagine them wanting is like food, armor, weaponry, which is probably not going to turn a great profit in food.
I know a man who fucking deals in spices.
You know a man who fucks.
He certainly wanted to.
Spices probably would work because everyone wants a little bit of spice, but there'd be a limit on that because it's so expensive and you only need so much, right? What about?
But it's easy to move.
I might be able to charm him into a good deal, right? And on top of that, like we already have some, so we can be like, these are amazing. We need more. Like there's a reason for it, you know? And if we're going to be buying in bulk, then that's even better of a deal.
Spices are also high value for their weight.
What if we get some spices, and hear me out on this one.
Okay.
This will be difficult, I'm sure. What if we also got livestock?
I do not like the trouble that invites, to be perfectly honest. Like, I think it's a great idea.
I think it's going to be like... But with like each one of these, I'm firing off a cow, and there's like a splash of dollars.
A cow
Livestock
is 10
do
gold.
everything. Livestock do everything.
Are you planning on
Welcome
corralling
to the town of Abilene.
On corralling cows down the coast of Mother's Horn?
We have a wolf.
Yeah, you have a wolf, and you have like nature
A sheep
mages.
Wolf. Yeah.
You can
A
speak
tree
to
that literally
animals.
talks to
Think
them.
about how
Like-
fun this would be. We could take down some oxen, some mules, or some donkeys. Like, I mean, hell, we could even ride on some of the mules. But like, this is things that they won't have in Balcutta.
No one else is going to be making that movement, especially in big money. And
I also had the horrible idea of, we could also use them like drugs mules. You just feed them the spices in bags and
Well, no, like you could just
smuggle
strap
it
them
out.
to their back.
the spices you have are not illegal. Assumedly, the merchant already paid taxes on them.
Okay.
That in mind, if you buy more, you might have to pay taxes.
It's true. Because it wasn't a transaction, actually, so he didn't have to pay. Like, there was no tax needed for us there because
Yeah.
there was no transaction.
Sure, that's the reason why. Let's do with that. I'm
I
not gonna
know
lie.
it's going to be a lot more work.
It is more work, but the
And if we don't sell all of them, bringing them back to the village is equally valuable.
you either give some to the village, or you know, this increases your reputation with Balcutta as well. You know, what's going to be more memorable? Bringing a whole bunch of cows coming over the hill in the middle of winter.
I mean, if it's like
someone with spices.
10 gold a cow, we could spend 300 gold and bring 30 cattle back.
That's manageable, right?
That's manageable. I mean, it's a lot of cattle.
That's a lot, but
it's
that's
manageable for what? Four people, because Richter's like a sheepdog for us right now.
Richter
And-
right
and a
now
wolf,
will
and
just
a
be
sheep-wolf.
just like Richter, scare the cows into moving forward.
Why did he sound like a Minecraft zombie?
That's
What
Richter
do you
sounds
think?
like.
What do you think, Docs? I know it's going to be more hassle.
I just don't like the trouble that it invites.
I do have a bad feeling we're going to get attacked by wild animals or something, but at the same time, I kind of want to do it just because it's amusing.
It is, right? When have you ever shepherded anything in D&D?
Okay, we can vote, and I will be fully on board with wherever the vote lands. I
That's
vote
fair. I'm down for
against. I'm sorry. I vote against.
for.
I
I'm also
vote for
sorry.
as well.
But you know, that's fair. And also,
But you can
here's
say
the
"I
point.
told you so" when we get loot.
You could also,
Oh, I will.
because none of these cows are going to be taking the sleigh. You can actually just also invest in general trade goods as well.
Yeah, we
Because
could.
the sleigh is still now essentially empty.
We could get like one cow less and get an oxen instead to draw the sleigh, and then we have the wolf free all the time.
Me out. I go and use the gold that I have to get spices. You guys go get livestock. We meet at the farm where Saffron is. And we go on our merry way.
That sounds good.
I trust you to make the livestock decisions.
We will get prime livestock, will we not, Amaryllis? I hope you can speak with animals.
It's like you
Yeah,
could
do you have any
go.
health?
How you got to like lean down to a cow? Like, how much money do you think you're worth?
they're like, Do you have any ailments?
How are your
What's your tea towel? Regular bowel movement.
I do love the image of can we like examine the merchandise, and Amaris just goes in and starts talking to them.
Yeah, this whole thing. Glorious Schmorley.
Careful, that went a bit to orcs there. You nearly said Gork and Mork. Woof.
Why don't you just buy a bunch of Warhammer 40k miniatures?
Honestly,
and
plastic
resell
crack.
them on eBay.
Jesus, I agree. That is the way to make money in life.
Brain empty.
I thought you'd frozen there. Not gonna lie.
I had a little. No, but me had.
Yeah, not to be confused.
So you going and buying cattle? Assumedly, the druid priest and the dryad who speaks to animals can go and get good cattle. You go to an area of this, because it would be the area you... Actually, no, this would be the other side of the city where the livestock would be, because people buying the livestock would usually be going north. So you go out that way, you go to this big area where people are selling livestock and basically a walled off field, and go and get the best cows, and you want to buy 30 for 300. Excellent. Print it. Spend it.
Can we get free oxen thrown in?
I think you're already getting an assumption of good faith in that your skills allow you to get good animals. I think your good faith is squirted dry.
Fair enough. I remember this.
Yeah, you remember that I gave you a good deal on cows? You remember the time I let you corral cows in a D&D campaign? A winter D&D campaign in the mountains? Doxy, this is going to be a bit more involved.
About to get doxed.
I'm going to get, another glorious trip
house.
with
Hi,
the dude.
Right?
Yeah, so, he led you to where his merchant wagon was stored, so you can go there and try to find him. And, do you want to try and get a better price than just whatever the regular would be? In which case,
use the rapport that I'd already built. I would have before we split off. I would have asked Torin to give me the same benefits he gave me last night. He's allowed to say no, but I would say it would probably grease the wheels.
Yeah, would you give an enhanced ability to Bell before you leave, Torin? He's muted, but he said yes.
I'm glad you... I was like, it took my brain a little while, so I was like, what's enhanced a bit? Oh, yeah, charisma.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
This is the next day, isn't it, after that?
Yeah. In which case, just give me a persuasion roll with advantage for those
you
discussions.
Sprint down to him so that you make it before you run out of the spell.
Persuasion with advantage. Oh, there it's going. It's happening, and it's a 20. That is really good.
What is this day?
This is Doxy having bad luck for like an entire campaign, and then finally having good luck on things you care about. Not like, oh, I got a good luck on like seeing if I can piss into a bucket. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, here's something good.
That would be quite impressive.
Maybe this is payback for how badly we rolled on Monday.
In which case, this guy so enamored with you and so self-destructive is going to basically offer you half price. So that's
my lord,
7 gold for a pound of saffron. The carrying capacity of your sleigh is technically 300 pounds. It's being pulled by one wolf, so you wouldn't want to exceed 150 without slowing down, because it's being pulled by one sleepy wolf.
I would ask him if he's okay with, as opposed to 64.5 pounds, 65 pounds for 450 gold.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm down to 0 gold, boys.
All on spice. Just loaded with saffron and frankincense. Who knows? Maybe it would just be a freaking a wider assortment.
Turmeric.
I think ginger would be native here. I'm trying to think of things that wouldn't be native here. Maybe some like chili powder. But it'd be a mixture of things that could be used for both flavoring and coloring, so.
Imagine if garlic was a native. If they just didn't have garlic here.
Garlic's everywhere in Jarviskjir. Don't be crazy.
If I had that anime thing where I woke up and I was like in a different world, I'd be like, wait, is there garlic here? And if they said no, I'd be like, nope, send me back. Different world, please.
I would thank him and give him a little kiss and be on my way.
Mm-hmm.
He turns it into like a full-on.
No.
She'd let him.
Oh, maybe. How canon that is, we'll have to wait until Balara's memoirs. Until the smut story on my Patreon.
Written by Doxy.
You know, we're going to work together, okay? It's both hands, one pen.
No, bro. It's going to look like it's written in Yarvan.
Yeah. It'll be written in common, and you have to translate it to get to the smut. But trust me, it's gonna be
word.
Gotta be nice. It's funny. It's like there's a non-zero chance of that happening, and that's why it's golden. With that, you got all your stuff. You got cows. You're going to the gate of the city, and Zekian's kind of looks behind him, and there's the sound of cowbells. It's like, moo. I don't think I was told all of your plan.
I'm sorry.
Oh shit. But with this, are you ready to just leave? You got everything you want to do in the big city?
We probably ought to pick up some cattle feed.
Mm-hmm. Cows graze.
Some rations.
I mean, if you can't take
You're
the
not wrong. They do
guys.
graze, but it's also winter.
Yeah. But also, I can hunt us food. We don't need to spend money on rations.
That's true. You hunted really well last time. But is that betting that Doxy has good luck again on a session where she's had such good luck?
Dangerous business. How much a ration?
But actually, to be fair, you have a ton of cows. Don't worry about it. You can just eat into your profits.
No! Not Betsy.
I am sure someone has done the math of how much cows eat, but let's say they eat a copper worth of hay a day. Okay. If you want to get X amount.
Oh god.
How many days worth of travel is it to Balcutta?
To Balcutta via the regular road? I think you could maybe.
We're not taking the mountain pass.
Yeah, I think you could maybe cut it. 3 or 2 weeks. You might be able to cut the time down.
Okay, let's definitely get an extra week's worth of food.
So we're realistically looking at about 30 days worth for 30 cows, so around 900 copper.
What's that in gold?
9.
9.
I don't know why that was funny, but it was.
Very reasonable, right? Okay, I paid that. Did we pay for the cows, by the way?
Yeah, I assume we did. Who paid for the cows?
300 gold, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's both minus 150, Ian.
Okay.
We nearly just
never do business with the boys.
This is why Ian was
Me and
always in charge
Doxy, we
of
had
the gold.
efficient business, good deals made, only a
And
little bit of making out,
horny.
a little bit of love,
I'm just role-playing Amaranth's complete lack of money sense.
Yeah, like Torrin's like counting out the money and then is like just reaches into Amaryllis's coin purse to touch.
Yeah,
out of it.
basically.
She just looks at him, looks up, he looks at her, they just smile at each other and then carry on.
Yeah.
And then Amaryllis goes back to talking to the cows.
Yeah, exactly.
She's not even cast speak with animals, she's just mooing at them.
Cows don't have much
They
to
say they're mine. They say they
Probably
don't belong
that is
to you
all
anymore.
of their mind. Yeah.
I think Amaryllis would appreciate a slow conversation now and again.
That's true. That's true. All right. Time to get this ranching adventure on the road. Do you think I should have made my character
Stop killing our DM.
I really want to finish this coffee before it becomes a cold slush.
Then finish it. I can do this all day. Back in 1874 on the Cowtown of Adelaide.
We did the same history class. We weren't even in the same history class, but it was the same. It was the same syllabus, and we learned about the Cowtown of Adelaide in the Old West. And for some reason, it stuck hard.
Joe just repeatedly just did this little monologue over and over again.
To be fair,
Joseph
the
McCoy.
dude remembered all of the information.
He did.
By turning it into a monologue. Ah, yes, excellent cow ranching music. I'm gonna do a joke that none of you are gonna get. I have brain damage. My brain is damaged. One day you'll get that joke.
I didn't get it. You're not wrong. That's kind of made it funnier.
I know, but trust me, one day I'll go. That was a good joke. I mean, it's not even a joke, it's just an impression. But I've had to keep catching myself from not saying it all the time. You corral the cows through the streets of Shinebank, picking up your elderly, drunkard, rootin' tootin', elven paladin retired on the way.
Oh yeah, I nearly forgot about him.
How dare you? First of all, how dare you? On the way to the south gate, you're not stopped, but as the gates open, there is a woman. So if you remember the south gates, there's basically the gate and then a bridge, right? Over this little kind of moat, kind of rocky creek. But there is a woman sitting on something in the way. She is clearly part of the family, or at least aligned with their church. She looks like a cleric or a priestess. She's a minotaur. Big horns. The horns are adorned with bells. She had beside her actually a gigantic bell, the kind of size that it could be used like a freaking clubbing weapon. And I'm glad that Dean isn't here for a session where I describe a character with a bunch of bells.
Giant bell.
Giant bell.
A giant bell.
But she's wearing fine clothing, all that sort of thing. But it's like chain. It's like priestly garb. It's like gold chain, but treated and stuff. When she stands, it's revealed that she was sitting on a person who was like on all fours, who is a younger minotaur lad. And she also has beside her a chest. And the chest is quite large and square, and also in a position where, like a shape that you could easily sit on. But instead, she was sitting on the dude. And she approaches in a way where, she doesn't block the path, but you can tell she's connected to the family members who are also up in those keeps and behind you, and probably in front of you on the other side of the bridge. Like, she's not blocking you from passing, but it's heavily insisted that you stop. She approaches with one arm outstretched while quite effortlessly carrying the giant bell on one shoulder like a Dark Souls character. And brings it down in front of her with a cling and a clang.
Bonfire last night.
Check my Twitter, Neil, and scroll down a little bit for that joke. My friends, I've been meaning to have a small discussion with you. To alleviate a lot of small talk, my name is Toller Runsell, and I do decide what happens within Shinebank, and I want to give you assistance on your quest against your horrifying dragon that haunts your valley.
Are you gonna sit on us?
Only if you want me to.
Does he?
Oh, of course. Yosef is my humble and useful squire in all sorts of ways.
I'm nobody to judge.
It is in the interest of all civilized life on this side of the Horn to have that dragon eradicated, and we are willing to pledge and assist you with a quite large selection of healing oils, ointments, and useful trinkets and relics of power. Things that will assist you. Free of charge, of course.
I want to know if I can trust her.
You want to give me an insight roll?
I would really like to.
Yeah. You've kind of learnt not to trust any members of the family.
Okay.
It is quite literally their number one prerogative to make money. If she is in charge of them, and based on the amount of gold she's wearing, either she's starting to act as a change, and she wants to genuinely help you and give you all this stuff, or there's an ulterior motive that this will somehow make them money in the future, which, to be fair, if you become maybe a trading partner, there is some logic to that. But you would, I think your instinct would be not to trust.
There's apprehension.
There'd be apprehension against trusting a member of the family right now.
We're not going to sign any contracts. But we will take donations to the cause.
Then consider this a donation. We can have it affixed to the back of your sleigh. This fine oaken chest, and all within it.
No cost?
Of course not. Wouldn't be neighborly to charge you.
Then we will slay a dragon using the items that you have donated to the cause.
Excellent. I wish you all the best of luck, but you will need it with the assistance that we provide and our train. No.
Here it is.
Take the train. Take the West Station train all the way back to Cornucopia. You'd never looked that way before. You'd never seen it. It's hidden in the bushes. Sorry.
Thank you very much, then. And Taran would outstretch a hand to shake her hand.
Yeah, she would give like a strong, Minotaur arm grip.
He's ulterior motiving just a little bit. He just wants to. He's met some dragon cultists now, and he's like, "What if this is all poisoned? What if she's a dragon cultist?
Yeah.
Does she have any marks now?"
You want to give it like a close examination? Yeah, that's a really good idea.
If I can, just give her a little...
What check would that be? That could be quite a couple of things. I think that could be a perception or an insight.
I would prefer insight myself.
Yeah, do an insight then. Yeah, because you're looking for small details but tell you things, so it's kind of
that
both.
Was a terrible roll.
You don't see
you
anything.
Trust her with all of your being.
Well, this isn't about trust, right? This is about seeing if you can pick up anything that is dragon cult aligned. And you already were worried that the family's church would be dragon cult aligned, because even despite what you said,
similar qualities.
Well, the family's church doesn't seem to stand for anything other than money. Like, sure, there's mention of them worshipping a god, but there's no symbols to that god on this woman. There's bells, but that's just like a generic church symbol, right? Everything is so generic and washed down, and yet still obviously has meaning amongst these people that either it has meaning you don't understand, or whatever. But there's none of the explicit dragon cultist traits that you've noticed. And also something you've noticed, just in general, and this would be a moment you've pieced it together, most of the dragon cultists you've encountered have been men. Or male-dominated, or be led by men. Whereas the Minotaur priestesses who are typically matriarchal. The one at the Lion Bull camp is a man and still alive, and the one that you killed was a man, now is a ghost. And ghosts are agender.
I would like, and this is probably not going to be of much use because again, it is more of a location-based thing than a person-based thing.
Real hard.
But I would still like to just, and the odds are she hasn't talked about anything with anything important. But I would like to see if I can pick up anything by having a glance into the past.
I like the idea of Amaris.
How far can you look into the past?
A day.
I'm sorry, really quickly. I'm so sorry. I've just got hit with an emergency need.
Go do it.
And I know that it's going to be like half an hour before break, so sorry.
Go do whatever you're doing.
Just pee right now. Just let it all out.
Like a freaking waterfall. While this is happening, and while all of you are apprehensive, and Richter's apprehensive as well. I mean, Richter doesn't trust anyone other than his dad.
He's about as talkative as usual.
Yeah, he's got the same expression that he usually has, and he's also being licked by a cow right now. So, I'm willing to bet Richter hates these cows. I mean, if he had a vote, he would have voted against it. I'm like half certain. Like Dean loves it, but Richter would hate it.
I just love the image of Richter standing there and just his normal, just solid, and there's just a cow standing there licking him and he's not reacting to it at all.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't encourage it. You also can't let them know your fear. But looking back into the past, you see all of the past day kind of flow through, and this is a busy area. You see people going to and throwing the tavern and the flow, and you all sort of see it as a blur. You know, you can see the motion in the blur, but there is some clarity in Runcell. Two members of the family bring this chest over, and she has somewhat of a conversation amongst people. And noticing the chest seems to be already full, but she takes something from her own bags and things. In fact, she's not carrying any bags. And she takes from seemingly thin air, because everything's happening so fast, it's hard to see exactly what happens. If any spells or such will cast, it's hard to place it. But she takes a smaller lockbox and places it deliberately inside the chest. Which wasn't there before. Seemingly the chest was already arranged by other people. I mean, they brought it over, and then they waited.
Okay. Do I mention that, or I know Amaryllis isn't the type? I
think that's something you might mention in the future when you're looking through the box.
It's definitely going to come up in the future, but Amaryllis isn't the type to immediately be like, "Hey, what was the deal?"
Unlock this box, and a giant tongue flops out.
It's just a mimic.
Yes. Wouldn't that be great?
I already did that in one of the Patreon games.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Where yeah, like, oh, I'm so glad we defeated those bandits and get to get the bounty they were trying to get from this wagon. You know.
Nice.
And I'll get you too one day. But. With your blessing, you know, the other family members go and actually straight up affix the chest to the back of the sleigh, essentially increasing its carrying capacity and increasing its security, instead of placing it in the back, which is full of spices. And your other things, like your camping equipment and stuff. And Zekian's brought a lot of things with him. And they bid you adieu. It's a very, there's no real fanfare. You know, the transaction is done. And unless you want to say anything else, you know, they're going to close the gate behind you, and Beltola Roncell is going to go through the gate back towards the
there was
churches.
no transaction, no collusion.
It's a donation. And with that, gate closed. You can keep on going. I imagine you go for a bit. You know, you've got to push the sleigh until you get Saffron, and then Saffron's fine, and you get Saffron. You know, to explain to Saffron that there's a lot of cows now, and that's just the way it is.
And Mummy and Daddy love each other very much. Get a lot of cows.
And then I imagine once you're a safe distance from Shinebank and starting to take the road, once you want to take that break, you'll probably want to look inside that chest, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Right.
But so before they even open the chest, like when they're discussing it, Amris would say, "The woman, the one with the bells, she placed something extra in the chest, a lockbox. It was not there when the chest was brought to the gate. It was her own item, I believe. It may be a gesture of goodwill, or it may be something else, but we should be cautious of the lockbox in particular when we open this chest."
The chest itself is not locked, presumably the lockbox.
It's got latches, so they're quite. It is more secure,
Requires
and you could
definite
padlock
effort.
them.
Yeah.
They haven't. But yeah, you can just open it up, and inside is padding and several glass vials of healing potions. And by several, it appears that there are 8 small potions, and then 4... actually, 8 large potions, and then 4 small, condensed, stronger potions. So there are 4 regular potions and... 8 regular potions, 4 greater potions in there.
So that basically means 2 each regular healing potions and 1 greater each.
Yeah, but one of you will have to keep an extra 2 for Richter to give him later. Because I'm not going to mess with his
So we have a
inventory in case he
greater.
uses it.
I actually have 3 potions of healing on me right now, just in case anyone doesn't.
I mean, I had 1, so taking 2 more is...
It's also note for when you're done with the bureaucracy of healing potion alignment. That there is a small wooden lockbox in there as well. No more than like 6 inches aside.
Potion of greater healing, which is what is it? A 2d3, 4d4
plus 4.
I got there in the end. Alright, okay, cool.
Is the lockbox... I presume the lockbox isn't actually locked.
It's very similar to the regular box. It's got a latch and things that are not locked.
Okay.
Just in case. Go ahead, sorry.
Both the chest and the lockbox are pristine. You know, freshly varnished wood and stuff like that. You know, it's never seen wear and tear and toil.
Just in case. Not that I think it's necessarily anything dodgy, but maybe we should just take the little lockbox out of the chest and open it away from everyone else. Just one person.
That's
Minimize.
what I was thinking. I can take it far away from the sleigh. And
Well
open it.
volunteered, Belle. Well volunteered.
Okay, you go and, you know, you climb up a hill or something nearby and open it. It opens without a sound, you know, no creak, no anything. And inside is equally padded, but with a much nicer material.
Pair of lace underwear.
Well, I was thinking actually the material was vaguely lacy. The material is patterned and very detailed. The material is very expensive. And in the middle is a single item, a silver acorn.
Interesting. Really quickly, just in case, I'm gonna hold the dragon scale up to it, the enchanted dragon scale.
No reaction. Good idea though.
All right, I will.
You should do it to everyone.
Reclose the box, and then head back to the sleigh, and say, "There's a silver acorn in it. It's a well-padded box."
Strange.
I don't know. It's not. And she waves the dragon scale over it.
It's the symbol of oiling.
When you look at it, both Amaryllis and Tauren, and actually Belle as well. When you look at it together, it's clear that it's not a acorn made of silver. It is a real acorn for a tree that is silver in coloration. There's even like a little leaf that's kind of semi-sprouted from the side.
Shall we plant it at home?
Maybe.
Hang on a minute. I'm just thinking. The tree that was in Balcutta, the like holy tree that got corrupted, and all we've heard before about silver acorns, wasn't it? That could be used to grow like spirit tree thing. I can't think of the words. And we heard that the priestesses from Balcutta went to Shinebank and then carried on. Could this be the acorn? Might they have left it in Shinebank with her? So Amaryllis would say that. I would say that in character. I was sort of having a thought. And
that's too high concept for Amaryllis to say and us to understand at the same time. But
yes, exactly. But Amaryllis would raise that as a possibility. If we wait overnight, I will be able to check whether it has any magical properties. Or perhaps it is simply a message of some kind.
So we'll get the hand drill out from the carpenters, just put a hole through it and just slide naked. Can you imagine?
I know, right? Fuck this future tree in particular.
Right on the pendant necklace, just.
Now I got two.
Twice the acorns.
Twice the magic.
Hurricanes is me.
Yeah. Hurricane ready. Alrighty. For the long journey back on the road to Balcutta. Oh yeah. Are you going to keep that lockbox like on your person, Tauren, or are you going to put it back in the chest?
I would 1,000% insist that Tauren carry it.
Well, I was going to say we should put it in a chest to protect it from any frosts. Inside a box should keep it warm. Warmer than being on my body. I mean, I get where you're coming from. Couldn't we just lock the big chest?
Richter will say, if it's a magic acorn, what bad would a little chill do? Well, trying to push away a cow.
Chill do? Maybe it'll turn blue.
I said no more of those. Got one left.
You can be separated from the chests, Tauren. You could be separated from the rest of us. Clearly, this item is destined for you.
I mean,
I insist that you carry it.
I don't want to become tree fertilizer. Not yet, anyway. Fine. But next thing that I get to choose what you carry.
If the chest were to fall off the sleigh,
I get it, all right? And my arm could fall off at any point, but it doesn't.
This is big talk from someone who just bought 30 cows.
controlling the will, sick the cows on him.
Get him! Just like almost like kill command in WoW.
They all look up simultaneously at Richter.
Just he stabs one, then another one takes him off his feet, and then you just lose him until there's just red.
Something.
I don't remember getting red kettle.
There's something special about the idea of like there's like looking at the scene from the camera and all the cows look like just looking to it at the same time. Red eyes. Doxy, can you give me a survival roll?
Yeah, I can do that.
This is a general hunting on the trail roll.
Show enough.
Yeah. So just like last time,
today?
you are. Is this a beginning of a new age for Doxy in her D&D career, or is this just a fluke?
Ooh. You know what? Maybe we should start calling Doxy Fluke Mom. I didn't regret making that joke. That makes you the little grumpy knight.
No, Fluke Mom is the.
Yeah, Doxy's the Fluke Mom, but you're the little grumpy knight, the one who's.
There's actually some cool Fluke lore that you wouldn't expect the Flukes to have lore. This is a Hollow Knight reference.
I'm fairly certain you talked about it every time we met Flukes. You'd be like Fluke lore. That's why I like Flukes.
Yeah, that would be why. Just you wait until the third Hollow Knight game. Hollow Knight, it was all a fluke.
Oh God.
Directed by me. Hi, me Team Cherry. I'm brimming with various things. Ideas is one of them. But on topic, on your way traveling, I mean, you've never traveled with 30 cows before. It is a new experience.
Bell, though.
Not when Bell's the one I'm talking to.
All right.
You never traveled with Richter before. So not only do you have to be conscious of the route that you're taking to feed all of you, but also to feed these cows, not having to rely on hay that you purchased on the way out and procured and stuff like that. And mostly you're doing a good job of it. It's one of those things once you kind of get the eye out for it, it's quite good to do. And luckily, the road to Balcutta is mostly a sweeping region of shore and coastline that's mostly flat. It's much flatter than a lot of the other lands. So it's actually quite easy to corral these cows all along it. Especially when you can speak to them and make them not walk into the sea or wander off. The two major risks. Your journey goes mostly without any sort of trouble. About a week in. After you leave Shinebank, there are, pockets of civilization along the coast. People who do oystering to support the community of Shinebank is quite common. And just general sort of fishing as well. But then it dies off, and there's occasional little village thorps, really, not more than a couple more buildings of people who like each other's company enough. But about a week or so into the journey, there is a moment that gives you fear and pause when you see a giant silhouette cross over the herd, the silhouette of a giant bird. You look up and just see breaching through the clouds a creature you would know as a rock ROC.
Jesus, they're big.
They're huge. You would be careful. You'd keep everyone still for a while, but not too still. Stop. Yeah. Betsy's like, and then gets snatched. No, none of the cows are snatched by the rock, but it would be effortless if they wanted to do that. But you aren't bothered. But it is just a reminder that this is a land home to bigger predators than man or Minotaur.
I would in one of the early days, because I would have needed to swap spells out again. I would cast Identify on the acorn, just to know if it is.
When you take the time to do this, you put your fingers upon the silver acorn within the box and focus your magic to determine the magic. You get a blazing light envelop your mind and a overwhelming feeling of calm and serenity that's actually so calming and so serene, it starts to kick up anxiety. It, like, flips all the way around. And then you know, you would pull away without actually getting any real information from that.
Amaryllis is going to take that as basically confirmation of her theory.
You may take what you will, dear Ian.
Well, I'm going to take that as confirmation of my My theories have been pretty good the last week or two.
You have had good theories lately. You just got this sheer, like, you know when, like, streaming like a game like RimWorld or Stellaris and there's someone in chat who knows everything? You're that, but for Jarviskjir. Like, have you tried this? Oh, if you do this, you'll get this. That's what you're doing right now. Backseat gaming, my campaigns.
How can I backseat game when I am playing the game?
No, it's Zoe who's backseat gaming back there. Lurking.
God, I adore her.
I knew it was bait and it worked. Aside from a scare of a rock, and of course you would be scaring away wolves from the herd. You would have to manage the herd. All of these things are actually within your possibilities and your skills, and you get to Balcotto without losing a single bovine.
Oh, damn.
What? Holy shit. You guys. This session is so good.
You successfully corralled. You've completed the great corral of the Elven Beach. Actually,
now, hopefully, they want to buy them.
Oh, I mean, if we have some cows left over, that's fine.
It would
Griff
suck so bad if they
daughter.
wanted 0 of them.
But this is a great time to take a break.
Okay.
If you're so inclined, this, you know, it would be thematic to have a nice glass of milk right now.
Oh, I'm tempted by a nice cool glass of milk. God damn it, boy!
Aha! Wormed my way into your brain with my milk.
Auntie.
0 calorie day for me. Wow.
No milk for Doxy.
No milk.
You could just have some white-colored water.
Something's
Ew.
going on.
Yeah, I know.
Going on out there.
Let's get out of here. Be back
She's
in a
on
sec.
patrol. She's looking for rocks.